Now, South Sudan has rejected an African Union proposal to send in regional troops to secure the country's capital in the wake of recent fighting. President Salva Kiir has condemned the plan, as have some locals, with protests breaking out in Juba. UN Chief Ban Ki-moon supports the deployment, but questions remain over how this will affect the UN's sizable but stretched presence in South Sudan. William Denslow has more from the United Nations in New York.
While the United Nations Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon says he supports the decision by the African Union to send troops to South Sudan, the two organisations aren't completely on the same page now. A ceasefire is in effect, but after over 250 people died in recent clashes in the country, the Secretary-General wants to see an arms embargo put in place. But this is something rejected by Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni, who argues that it'd be counterproductive to weaken the South Sudanese army at a time that they're facing an increase in violence. Now, the UN currently have around 12,000 peacekeepers on the ground in the country, and analysts do say that they might be able to provide things like logistical help to the African Union forces, but there is a concern that the UN mission in the country is already overstretched. Now, there's also the fact that South Sudanese officials, they oppose the proposal made by the African Union, which could put UN peacekeepers further in harm's way. Of course, this coming after two Chinese peacekeepers as well as a UN worker were killed earlier this month. Now, the UN's Children's Agency also warned that dozens of people in South Sudan may have cholera. Now, the UN say a fast response is required, but this may well only further stretch the UN's mission on the ground. William Denslow, CCTV, New York.